It's Thursday, and you know what that means. Welcome to the Max Wrestling Podcast. This is your captain speaking, along with El Jefe, here to discuss every twist and swerve in pro wrestling.
Goodness, and what swerves do we have? Speaking of all that, it's officially Swerve's house in AEW. Live crybabies fail to grasp simple things like showers and the concept of long-term storytelling. Plus, Chris Reed, the mercenary, continues his own revenge tour as he goes one-on-one with the lawyer, Chad Malcolm, take his motherfucking ass out, in a non-title TV rules match. Plus, the big announcements are coming. Beer and myself both have things to get off our chests. Oh my good God almighty. You want to hear them both. So make sure you subscribe right here on the YouTubes /Max Wrestling. Check out SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is you get your podcast. And check out the beautifully done website, maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com for all these links and a whole bunch more.
Damn right. So, what do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
Crybabies.
Yeah, let's do them first then. I was going to talk about the highs of Dynasty and everything, but yeah. So Becky wins the women's world title on Raw, which honestly I'm fine with. Yes, okay, she is
Fucking
always
lazy.
in the title picture. It's a little lazy, yeah, but it's also safe. They know she can run with it. Rhea got injured. Plus, she hasn't technically won this title before, so now she's can add that to her bag.
Smack.
But I mean, if you think about it, it's obviously she's a transitional champion.
And
I'm
that's
okay
where
with
I'm
Becky
like,
Lynch being a transitional champion.
that first off, that just doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sound right.
Maybe
But
6 years ago.
yeah, 6 years ago, sure, but not right now, especially right now. But no, yeah, she's transitional. Actually, I thought she was going to go away at some point. I thought take
Yeah.
a little breaky break, but I guess not.
Maybe
Now
she was, but then Rhea got injured, and she's like, "Hey, we need you to hold the title so Liv can look strong."
all right. Well, then, hey, whatever they got to do to get it going. I mean, in reality, when you sit back and look at it, I don't know if there's anybody else you could really. I mean, like, sure, you could give it to Liv, you could go right to Liv, whatever, but you, in this instance, you put it on somebody who's established. And again, it's like what we used to say with what was I was saying? I forgot what the reference it was when I was referring back to how Becky's always in the main event, like how we always used to have Trish Stratus in the main event and all that stuff. This was bound to happen. You need the face. You need that name. You know what I mean? You need that star value to hold the belt and build this thing up. She can lose it next month. Don't they already have a show coming up?
Backlash is in France. I'm not sure what's
Week.
after that. I think we got a Saudi show coming up
Okay.
after Backlash. And then is it
Saudi.
Money in the Bank after that?
Sure.
In Canada? Is it in Canada?
Probably in Canada.
Yeah, it's in Canada this year. But yeah, that's the whole point of it, is somebody strong, recognizable for Liv to beat. It would have done less for Liv to win the title in the Battle Royal. It's going to do more for her. She's already pissed off and on this revenge tour. It's going to do a lot more for her to take this loss as well and push her even further over the edge.
Okay, so I love that you brought up that it was a battle royal, because that's the thing that none of these motherfuckers are talking about. What has anybody done in any battle royal? And no, I'm not talking about the Royal fucking Rumble. I'm talking about battle royals. Remember that whole Andre the Giant battle royal shit?
Yeah, Bronson Reed won it this year, and I don't.
Hey, did anybody get anything out of it ever?
Got a nice statue of Andre. That's about it.
Yeah, just stand by.
Yeah, for like a few weeks.
If motherfuckers got to take that home, I feel bad for them.
Hey, look, we got this new doorstop. Why does it look like Andre the Giant?
Oh, yeah. Where are we going to put it? Wherever you can find room, bud. Wherever you can find room.
Also, though, like, do you really want to reward the person? I'm not saying she did it deliberately, but do you really want to reward her for injuring your literally hottest, not even just female, one of your hottest stars on the entire roster, Rhea Ripley, and putting her on the shelf? and forcing her to vacate the title and this historic run. She's had it for a year, even though it's a different title now. It's just got a different name and a different look. But she beat Charlotte last year at Mania. She's held it right up until this year's Mania. What would it look like if they gave that title to Liv after she injures Rhea and forces her to vacate that title? Like, not even kayfabe, like she literally injured her and forced her to vacate the title. And I know Rhea injured her in the first place, and that's the whole point of this revenge tour. But it doesn't make very good business sense to just hand her the title. It makes more sense for the heat to die down, put the title on somebody safe like Becky, have Liv finally, go into this feud with her and then finally beat her for it. And I've also seen people say, like, why did it have to be Becky? Why couldn't it be like Nia Jax? No, just no. We just said don't award someone for injuring people. Why?
Hey, you took the words right out of my mouth. Right out of my mouth. But again, that's what I was trying to say, though. It's like, who else is there really? What other quote unquote established name was there going to be on Raw that could take this spot?
The only one on there who would probably be a worthy champion is Shayna Baszler. But do you really want her to be a transitional champion? No.
She needs a run.
Yeah, so you're all getting pissed at Becky for holding the baton, which she will pass on to Liv.
That's
chill the fuck out.
What, as beautifully wrote in the opening, the people are unable to grasp the idea of long-term storytelling. Let me just bring back this fun one. I think we even used this analogy with Cody. But did Rocky win the first time?
No.
Did Rocky just win it? You know what I mean? Just because he was so goddamn popular? Like, no. Fucking, there's always a story.
Who pointed out that reference too? Because they were in Philly for Mania, and somebody made that reference. Like Rocky didn't win the first time, but he won the second time.
I forgot who said that. But it's the truth. You know what I mean?
Rocky won the rematch.
It's all about the rematch. And yes, we understand this was a battle fucking royal, okay? Relax. Build up.
So it's not even like Liv got pinned.
That again.
Y'all need to chill out.
Hey. So the reason why I wanted to start with this because it was just such a downer. It murdered me. But now let's talk about some cool stuff.
Cool stuff. Dynasty was cool. Swerve had his crowning moment. Actually, obviously I couldn't stay up to watch Dynasty, so I watched it the very first thing the next morning. But I didn't watch it from the beginning. I went straight to the main event and then watched the rest of the show. So the first thing I saw was Swerve coming out in his, Black Panther inspired gear. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, fucking awesome.
I think we knew he was going to win anyway, but you kind of knew from that moment he's got this special entrance. Swerve doesn't do special entrances. He even had like the special intro music.
He did.
And then Joe just comes out like, I'm going to fucking murder you. But they also had those really cool camera angles where it was like up close and kind of looking up a little bit. It was like a very cinematic.
Yes.
And I know that's a dirty word on Max Wrestling, but very cinematic.
When it works, it works.
It works, yeah. And it looked great. It had a big fight feel. And just what a great week for... it's been for a number of people. Swerve, Willow, Trick Williams on NXT. It's been a very, very awesome week for new champions.
Keep it funky, say it for what it is, bro.
Fucking check.
To the African-American champion. You know what I'm saying? The first African-American champion in AEW being Swerve Strickland in a banger of a match. I loved that match. That match was awesome. It was hard. It wasn't the match of the night. For me, it was
we know what that was.
And it just was like so much dynamic. Like this is the only, and I'm not saying it as a problem, but it is a hindrance when there's no real stopgap in between some of these like killer matches, and you have to follow one up after another. It's fucking hard, fam. It's hard.
Yeah, there wasn't really like any interviews or segments. It was match to match to match. and I don't know how Swerve. I'm glad I watched Swerve and Joe first because I
Yes.
don't know how anybody followed Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson fucking murdering each other. It was a live action anime fight.
Oh, I'm and again, there's somebody who's watched every fucking one of these episodes, and thank you for doing that, by the way. Who's gonna go back and say, "Well, Mo said this before. Mo said this before." Blah 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 blah.
Guarantee it'll be
Um,
Mike or Phoenix.
probably. I went back and I watched Omega and Okada 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So the 90-minute
Dominion.
and then the one where Kenny won.
Yeah.
So, and then I watched this one back, and I'm very stuck. It's possibly the best wrestling match it's the best US wrestling match I've ever seen. That's for
Yeah.
sure. I don't want to be the Uncle Dave, but I'm like, it's not the Tokyo Dome or whatever. It was the story build of Okada and Omega that
Yeah.
is giving me just that little edge over it. But it is in that, you know what I mean? They're in the league, bub. They're in the league together. You know what I'm saying? Well, just wow. Just wow. I'm waiting for a 7-star rating from Uncle Dave, 6.5 at the minimum. Anything less, and I am subscribed to Uncle Dave.
They're just like, fuck it, have a galaxy.
Have a galaxy. Do it. But I mean,
Yeah.
that match killed. Okada and Pac was good. Was just New Japan style like a motherfucker. Which every time I see it, I'm like, well, there goes Pac. He probably got hurt again. And I think he did because the way he like hangs his head at the end of every match, it's like, God damn, bro, are you hurt already? Roderick and that boy fucking Kyle O'Reilly, boy. When you have chemistry with one another, Jesus criminy, that match absolutely ruled.
But it's just like Taz said. I mean, they teamed together for so many years. They know each other so well. But you don't just get to know your opponents so well when you work with them so much. If you team with somebody, you learn their styles too.
Yeah. It's not
And
working
they
with
just
him, it's
bounced off
teaming
each
with him.
other.
And it was some fucking perb. Sue fucking perb. I loved that match so much to my core. I'm very indifferent on Hook and Jericho.
I don't know how to feel about Jericho. I can
I'm
see some people's point of view, like he's become that weird uncle that won't go away, kind of.
but
But at the same time, he's Chris Jericho, and he can still work with people. He's still reinventing himself. He's the learning tree, Chris Jericho now.
it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's stupid, but only Chris Jericho could get away with it.
And I don't want. I keep using this analogy, but it fits. He's Hulk Hogan. He's WCW Hulk Hogan. He's the old guy that's been around forever. He helped set the industry. Remember the first undisputed champion. He beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night in San Diego. Damn right. And yes, he constantly reinvents himself, something unlike Hogan never did. But being that he's doing that, he's creating that longevity that Hulk Hogan had.
Oh yeah.
You remember that one extra character that Hulk Hogan had?
Oh, Mr. America?
Mr. America. Okay. And the fucking longevity added by putting a goddamn mask on Hulk fucking Hogan was the stupidest thing, but it worked. It worked. And Chris has figured out how to make all this work by changing character after character after character. But be that as it may, and I'm not saying like, Hook needed to lose the FTW title to go do something. I don't think he needed to lose, period. It just, but then again, they don't do nothing with him. You know what I mean? He's a fucking sideshow attraction. Go out there and suplex some guys. And in this one, Jericho didn't go up for a single one.
No. I think Hook would have benefited much more. Like the feud was pretty good. it was Jericho trying desperately to be his mentor and Hook like not having any of it.
Yeah.
And Hook was fired up week after week for this feud, so you would kind of think he's going to go into it, put Jericho in his place, look strong as he always does. But it's almost like Hook lost at at the expense. It was at the expense of Hook to create this gimmick. Like Hook lost just so that Jericho could run with this gimmick.
Yep. Yeah.
So I don't really see what it does for Hook. Besides, he's going to come back in a few weeks and beat Jericho. Then why? Okay, why didn't you just beat him in the first place?
Yeah, I know. I guess we're just gonna go run it back, a double or none. He's gonna get tutelage from his dad.
Yeah, Taz added a lot of realism to it too. After like Jericho won, Taz was just like, Chris, get out of the fucking ring.
I know that was great. Taz was he's that dad that you don't want to piss off. So I mean, I don't want to say it like this because I keep saying that term too. I don't want to say it like this, but I need a little WWE in my AEW. I need a cool fucking vignette with Taz and Hook. All right, fucking hook me up there, fucking AEW. Hook me up. Other than that, I mean, we congratulated Willow. Kind of really thought the 6-man unification match should have been on the show because the Adam Copeland match was fine.
Yeah, those two trios matches should have flipped. I don't know why the unification match was on the pre-show. I don't know why Jay White was on the fucking pre-show.
Because Adam Copeland.
Yeah, we just why. But we'd be sitting here going, I don't know why Adam Copeland was on the pre-show.
Because he's shit, mate. Because he's shit. I'm telling you, I 90% of his matches, I fall asleep in the first 5 minutes. It is the same, and I understand that that's exactly what we got. It's still Edge. But it's just the same old Edge that did the same old moves that he used to hit, like when everybody used to do their whole same group of fucking moves, like John Cena. And it's like, dude, him and Christian are the fucking worst at it. Where it's like they do their fucking signature move or whatever, but then they go, I swear to God that there's like a chip in their brain that goes back to WWE. Okay, cool. Now let's do a fucking arm drag and a thing, and they, and they have a fucking set choreographed thing, and then they snap out of it. Oh shit, I'm not there anymore. Right.
You don't got to do a 5 moves of doom spot anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see that a little bit. But
I do want to ask you this because this was one question that I was unable to ask the TSK, but does this already win pay-per-view of the year?
Oh, for me, easy. Revolution was great, but I think the majority of that was from Sting in the main event. But everything about this show was stacked. Everything had a purpose. Like when they first announced this pay-per-view and it was just Danielson versus Ospreay, I thought, okay, that's enough to sell a pay-per-view. But
seriously, though,
not really feeling a lot of hype for the whole pay-per-view. But as the weeks went on, I got really hyped for it. And I think every match served its purpose. They had every title on the line. A lot of title changes. Trav got fucking 50-something points on the Fantasy League from all the title fucking changes.
Running away with it.
But yeah, I mean, we're probably going to be talking about this pay-per-view for a long time. And it's going to take a lot for AEW to top this pay-per-view at their own pay-per-view this year.
Seriously.
Hopefully All In.
Hey.
That may be just me being biased.
No, I'm with you. I think All In's going to be their big-ass show of the year for a while. Especially if they keep going to London and staying in Wembley.
Oh, yeah. I think he announced last year he plans to make it an annual thing. So like, it's not just, hey, we're doing it one more time. Like, we're going to keep coming back. But we're going into it this year now with a really big heel angle, almost NWO-esque, with the Elite turning on Tony Khan, but TK taking a bump last night. 2 bumps, really. Took 1 bump from a microphone and then...
Get ready, everybody. Get ready.
This is the guy that said he didn't want to become involved in storylines.
Here it comes. He's going to be on TV every fucking week. I bet you money. And it's either going to kill or help this company.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
This is
I
a big
guarantee
risk.
It is a fucking massive risk, but think of the reward.
Oh yeah, I'm already seeing the reward because the Elite came off, like I said, looking very NWO-esque. They are, but it's kind of different from the NWO because we know that the Bucks are EVPs. Like they have executive power literally in this company.
Yeah.
They're not just like the outsiders coming in.
Yeah, hey, I'm the big dogs. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah, now you take the NWO story and you add realism to it. And
like
it's
imagine
great.
if Scott Hall, I mean they did control their own contracts, but imagine if Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were EVPs in WCW,
Oh
and then they started the
fuck!
NWO.
Are you fucking
Like
wow?
the NWO was a takeover, a hostile takeover, and an invasion. This is all of that from within.
From within, fam.
Plus, we saw TK's daddy on TV for the first time, and he looked
Again,
pissed.
so we are going to get TK on TV, and I don't want to be like Shad's gonna be like the boss, but
He looks terrifying.
he does look terrible. I was just gonna say.
He came in the ring, he glared at the referee. I thought he was gonna kill the referee. I'm like, he didn't do nothing.
No, bro, I'm not fucking with Shad, bro. No, not happening. I was talking all that shit on the Jaguars, so I'm not doing it ever again.
He got country buying money.
Sure does. Jesus Christ.
I mean, we're going to get into Dynamite with the recap later on, but yeah, we have to talk about this segment because it is either good or bad. It's going to be a game changer for AEW.
Factual.
Like there was one caption of Shad and his evil glare saying, "You just crossed the line." It is a line crossing move to attack TK and TK to take a bump, especially from the Young Bucks. But Jack Perry sold it so well too. And I wasn't planning on being here a couple of weeks ago, sitting here praising Jack Perry because we were talking shit about him. But, you know, fair play to him. He's running with it.
I mean, I stand by what I say, and and look,
I'll
said,
also stand by this. It did take a 9-month-old video of him getting choked out by a 44-year-old man to get him over.
But at the same time, it took a 44-year-old man to fucking shove and put a fucking kid in a chokehold to get relevant for no goddamn fucking reason. Like none of this should have happened. Is the whole fucking point. Egos blew up. Now the fucking kid has a gimmick that he really doesn't. Well, he needed. Let's keep it honest. He fucking needed something. I don't think it needed to come from this, but hey, it's fortuitous, as they say.
I wasn't really buying his heel gimmick so much like going into All In.
Yeah.
Like when he went from Jungle Boy to Jack Perry, he was just like, yeah, I'm not really sold on you being a pissed off tough guy. But now I'm sold on it.
Well, yeah, I was like, now, I mean, well, because it looked like spoiled rich kid.
Yes.
And that's why, because it came off as spoiled. Well, my dad, this is my dad, like, dude, I don't give a fuck about your dad. And that's, you know, that's where I want like Christian to bust in, like, your dad's dead, and just walk out just every single time. But no, I mean, this is gonna work for him. In reality, and this is something I think we can both take away from this. Both of these dudes went in looking like fucking turds on a plate. And somehow, some way, in their own companies, they look like fucking, you know, fucking prime rib steaks.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
Punk's, I mean, WWE, I think the fans accepted Punk back already, and, you know, they were chanting his name and stuff. I think now he's gained more respect from them for beating up Jack Perry. And then the AEW side of just like, so Punk was telling the truth, but Perry got choked out by a 40-year-old man. But again, it all goes back to TK should have stopped it.
It all goes back to when you hear two fucking grown men yelling, you tell them to shut up and go to their fucking locker. You be the adult. And you can see that now they're sick and tired of him not being the adult. And that's why he got the fucking TK driver. Should be the Meltzer driver again, because fuck you.
I mean, are they going to keep calling it the TK driver after
I hope
dropping him
not.
with
They got to
it?
go back. They're going to have to go back to the Meltzer driver. You know what? Now that I keep saying this, I need them on on any episode of whatever, Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, who gives a fuck. Start talking. Hey, we'll replace you with fucking Dave Meltzer any minute. I need it. I need the fucking just the stupid tease. We know it'll never happen, but I mean,
Like Matthew likes to talk shit into the camera. I want to see him
Exactly.
talk shit into the camera every time they hit an impressive move. How many stars, Dave?
you see?
Do it,
I'm
Matthew.
telling you. Just let them be. And the NWO used to do it. Let them run with this. I fucking love that. I love it.
I am very interested in where this is going to go because, like, who's going to step up for TK? Also, nobody left the fucking locker room until the Elite left the stage. They had like 3-4 minutes. Then the Elite disappeared. All of a sudden, the fucking locker room empties.
Yeah, last minute. They're all like, oh, we should go out there and save the
Were
boss.
you all looking for the other tunnel or something?
No, they were like, apparently guys started packing their bags and they were like, oh, TK's down? Stuff out of my drawer. And let me go.
I think it would have been better if like the locker room began to empty and like told the Bucks and Okada and Perry, what the fuck you guys doing? Get the fuck out of here. Instead, it was just the refs going, you need to go.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit better if like guys would have at least got like down to the ramp and then like have Nicholas, because he's the cocky one, be like, if you guys take another step, you're fired, or you're suspended without pay or something. Be like, oh, and just have a bunch of guys like, I wouldn't say freeze, but just like stand there like, well, fuck, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Just something to add to let them, rub that fucking EVP in there just a smidge more. Just a smidge.
But interesting thing is there's 4 of them in the Elite now.
Hey, there was 4 of the
maybe
NWO.
Blood and Guts.
Oh.
Give me a Blood and Guts, but I don't know who against. Like maybe Joe can lead one team. Because like the Elite aren't really feuding with anybody besides Pac. You're not going to bring Punk
FTR.
back. FTR, yeah.
Yeah.
But then who's feuding with Jack Perry?
Here's my thing, because we brought up the NWO thing. Does that mean we're going to start to see a bunch of people get into the Elite? Like Trent's a heel right now.
Yeah.
And Trent, PWG,
and he ain't got no best friends left.
He's got no friends. Not even the best friends. You know what I mean? He ain't even got acquaintances at this fucking point. He can get, he again, New Japan, PWG, Ring of Honor, they have a lot of connections. That's a guy,
Yeah, I mean, Jack's already in a stable in New Japan.
There you go. You know what I mean? They add Trent in the motherfucking, to the Elite. I want to know, how soon do we start adding people, and does this really become the NWO? But I don't want to say better, but better, because you got to learn from the past. And what did the NWO do that murdered them? Besides being oversaturated, I wouldn't say oversaturated, but over rostered, having 59 guys. Just that too. But and Hogan sucked. But this is better. At least I think it could be better. It could be better. Just got to don't add too many guys, but add some just to give you that NWO flavor, that sprinkle of salt. You know what I mean? Maybe not right now. Maybe give it a couple more months. But
you've also got to question which side Kenny's going to fall on when he eventually comes back.
And he's supposed to be back in Canada.
Yeah, and Hangman too. He got suspended. Kenny's like on the shelf, so it's going to be very interesting when they both come back.
Oy.
All right. Like I said, we're going to get more into AEW Dynamite a little bit later on with the recaps. But before we go any further, your very own El Jefe has something to address. So let's go find out what is so damn urgent.
Hi, my name is Mostafis Marcus, and I am here as your EVP of Special Announcement. And as your EVP of Special Announcements, boy howdy, do we have a bunch. But let's hear from the most important one. And we'll get to it later on in the show. Now, back to the boys.
Good.
Well, that was disappointing.
Hey, you're the guy that hired him as an EVP. I don't want to hear it.
I haven't been cock teased like that since I was like 16.
Hey.
But anyway, let's not disappoint the people any further with the return of Shit Marks Say.
I'm going to tweet me and my friend Mark. We're going to stop watching. You're a whiny bitch.
Now, on the run sheet, it is very, very stretched, and you cannot see the whole thing. However, I can see the whole thing right here, so bear with me. Fucking Google for you. All right, so I'm not going to do the old shtick of coming up with funny names unless it's necessary. So this one was a wannabe dirt sheet that got exposed. So imagine, like, for example, Ringside News posts something, and then they log into a different account to reply, pretending to be somebody else. These guys forgot to do that. So Sitting in Gorilla posted lamest possible ending to a Bryan Danielson match, and then replied to themselves with, right? Talk about taking away from a big match that they had.
What the
You forgot to log into your other account to reply, dude.
Wow.
To your bot account.
And this is the thing that kills me. So what this post is, it says again, laming possible ending to the Bryan Danielson match, which was the whole him selling the injury.
Yeah, I also
all
don't
that
get how
stuff.
it was lame.
I don't understand how that took away from the match.
No, like they've built a storyline on it. Like Will didn't realize Danielson was like injured, like properly injured. Don't hit another move on him. So what does he do? He hits him with another hidden blade and then finishes him off. And then he's like, "Oh fuck, what did I do?"
Exactly.
That's the story.
Moment. Exactly. That's the story. Which, guess what? Builds to another match. Which, please and thank you.
Plus, you had that Bryan Danielson, who has a history of very severe injuries, particularly to the head, going fuck, fuck, fuck.
Yeah, head
on
and
the
neck,
ground.
head and neck.
I don't think that was lame at all. But anyway, the funniest part was you replied to your fucking self, pretending to be trying to be a bot, but you forgot to log into your bot account. You're a dumbass.
You're a total dumbass.
This shit we've seen before. His name's Noah.
Hi, Noah.
So Mina Shirakawa was on Dynamite against Anna Jay. Obviously, AEW promoted it. Noah says, "No, bear in mind, Shirakawa is from Stardom, which is in New Japan." Noah says, "Stop bringing these 60-pound small Chinese girls who shouldn't be throwing around big girls to expose the business. We've heard this shit before from Rio, and again, she's fucking Japanese."
Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. And expose the business. Expose the. I looked in my fucking drawer for the exposed to be how exposed am I? Because I'm exposed myself.
Throwing around big girls. Have you seen Anna Jay? She's not a. She's barely bigger than Shirakawa. Yeah, she's tall.
Because Shirakawa's like 5 foot nothing. What's so?
I actually want to see if I can find out the build weight because I really don't think there's that much difference.
Please, because I'm gonna laugh so fucking hard when you say this shit. But here's the fucking thing, bro. Here's the thing. She's not wrestling Willow. She's not throwing Willow around. Willow's a bigger girl. I'm not sorry, Willow. I apologize, my dear. Yeah, she's not a bigger. You know what I mean? She's not like throwing around dudes. What is? And then the exposing the business. Shut the fuck. Stop it. Shut the fuck up. Anytime you want to say exposing the business, I want you to slap the shit out of yourself, Noah. Do you understand what I'm telling you right now, bro? The business has been exposed since I was a fucking child. I was a child. So get over your fucking self you're supposed to, what's the term, Big Dog? Suspend your disbelief.
Yeah. And like smaller people haven't beat big people before. We forgetting Eddie Guerrero beat Brock Lesnar.
Hey,
Admittedly, with a little
you
bit of
ready
help
for the
from
best one?
Goldberg.
The 1-2-3 Kid beat big ass Razor Ramon.
Shocker. So,
Idiots.
Mina Shirakawa is 119 pounds, soaking wet.
Hey.
Anna Jay is 143. You're telling me you can't suspend your disbelief for the sake of what, 20 something pounds?
Okay, how much taller? Can you tell me that? Who's
Anna Jay is
Anna Jay's what,
5'8".
5'7"? She's
5'8".
5'8"? Oh damn, tall bitch.
Mina's 5'2".
Dale chingada madre.
We're talking about 6 inches,
Hey,
which Noah probably doesn't know much about.
hey, oh,
Hey.
had to do it. Had to do it.
Oh,
Fucking
fuck.
hammerhead.
Maybe I
Fucking
shouldn't have used this one,
hammerhead.
but I had to. I couldn't not. Um, so Liv Morgan posted a couple of videos and stuff. She was out partying with CJ Perry, aka Lana, and JoJo.
Oh my god, not this shit. Are you
This shit. And yeah, I'm gonna name him Degenerative George. Just had to go there with, hey, Bray Wyatt died 6 months ago.
So people aren't allowed to go out?
Do you not want her to like ever have a good time again, ever again in her life?
No, but it was 6 months ago. And
People mourn in different ways. And
hey,
like you said, she's had 6 months of mourning. She's probably still mourning. She's probably going to be mourning for the rest of her life. That doesn't mean she's not allowed to have a good time every now and then.
this is how depression happens. This is how fucking suicide happens, because people are not allowed to leave the bubble of sadness.
No, and
boy, your husband died 7 years ago. What are you doing partying? What the fuck? Like,
for all we
I
know,
understand it was 6 months, but it's not like she fucking put a porn out. You know what I'm saying, big dog? She was out hanging out with some friends.
For all we know, they went to this festival. They had some drinks. They went for a drive, which I'm not condoning.
Hey.
I'm also not condoning her hanging out the fucking window without a seatbelt on, drunk. But that's a different story. But obviously, she was having a good time. For all we know, they had this party, went to this festival, had a few drinks, and then maybe they had a cry about it later on. We don't know.
Yeah, of course, we weren't there. God
Fucking
damn.
Degenerative George.
Degenerative ass bag.
Next one is called Yin Yang.
Sure.
Big up to Kofi Kingston. He gave a shout out to Swerve winning the title. Simply said, Swerve.
Say it, baby. That's all you need to say.
And Yin Yang said, really, Kofi? Suck my head. Shake my head. All the respect I had for you just disappeared. Why? Because he's supporting a friend who happens to work for a different company?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Because I'm about to get real racist in this bitch. Are you telling me a black man can't support another black man?
I mean, Truth gave a shout out to Kofi for winning the WCW title, so.
I mean, hey.
Kofi, like, Truth's allowed to mix him up.
Truth can do whatever the fuck Truth wants. Okay, Truth is, again. What did we say? He's a global superstar.
He's a national global treasure.
That's right. This man is the fucking Jesus. He's the second coming at this point. I love Truth so much. But no, I mean, like, what the fuck is going on with people, bro? You can't congratulate somebody.
Oh, they work for the enemy.
So hold on, wait a minute. Who? So there was somebody in WWE just went and gave a team belt to somebody or whatever have you. So you're basically telling me that they shouldn't do that either, because now you're congratulating people outside your sport. You're breaking kayfabe to be the wrestler, to give a fake belt that they didn't win nothing to the Miami Marlins, to the fucking New York Yankees, to the fucking LA Chargers, just cuz. Hell, these motherfuckers got one from the NFL. I mean, they got one from WWE because of bullshit. So, like, come on, dude. Like, let people be happy for people, dude. Do you want to lose respect because Kofi said, hey, bro, congratulations for winning the big one. You worked here for a little bit. We had a little bit of a friendship, camaraderie, whatever have you. Appreciate working out. Glad things are working out for you at the other comp. What's the problem with that, dude?
That's literally all it was.
I don't understand why we can't just be nice to each other.
Like you work at McDonald's, your friend works in Burger King. You message your friend saying, "Hey, congratulations on Employee of the Month." Well, you're not allowed to do that because they're competitive companies.
They're fucking rivals, fam. You're fucking rivals. What the fuck? That's
Dumbass.
so stupid.
Okay, I got two more. I'm gonna go with this one first. Mr. Wrestling 6.
Sure.
Post a screenshot of Collision and Dynamite cards from last Saturday. Why is AEW booking talent to work both nights? Now,
oh my God,
we literally just had WrestleMania. WrestleMania was on back-to-back nights. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes were in the main event of both nights. Seth Rollins worked both nights. The Rock worked one night, took a bump the other night. Huh?
I'm here's the other fun fact of all this fun shit. I'm pretty sure the last two Collisions and Dynamites were taped on the same fucking day or aired on the same day. Where we got like 3 hours of programming.
Oh, they did Rampage and Collision back to back.
So
on the Saturday, and then Dynasty was Sunday.
So again, huh? So hey, so you had a 15-minute match. You want to go again? Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. These guys are doing these guys and gals are doing what they love. You're gonna tell me that if the NFL, hell, you know what? You're gonna tell me, and would be hard though. You're gonna tell me if a footy team wanted to play, say, they always give them a few-day break. But heaven forbid, due to weather or whatever fuck happened, say you can't do a 2-day break. Say you have to play a FA Cup game on a Friday and turn around and play the Prem the next day. Motherfuckers aren't going to say, no, boss, I'm too tired. They're going to say, all right, let's go. Hey, Gaffer, my legs are killing me. I'm fucking running off.
Fucking run it off.
There. Run it off.
But I don't get that question. Like, yeah, okay, they had back-to-back nights. Nothing WWE hasn't done. What about house shows? They have house shows right after live TV sometimes.
Not only live TV, but remember, they go from town to town to town to town to town.
Oh, yeah.
So guess what? They're doing the same match in town to town to town to town to town.
Right now, I think they're in the UK tour right now. We also had Raw. Where was Raw on Monday?
Oh, I have no fucking idea.
Wherever it was. And then, like, some of the roster went straight to the UK.
There you go.
So,
people are...
dumbass.
I'm slowly losing faith in humanity. At least in wrestling fans.
All right, this one, we're going to finish it off. I think everybody's seen this one so far, but it's been deleted now. Alejandro says, well, with a picture of Cody Rhodes, yep, this is what a main guy and face of a company looks like. I'm trying to get the saliva out of my mouth to read this next line. Not a guy who looks as a dealer with bling bling and rapper. Cody as a champ is so unfair to Swerve, who is good, but not the main champ of a company. I'm still trying to compute that second line. What does that even mean? Looks as a dealer with bling bling and rapper.
Okay, well, hold on, wait. No, I'm trying to understand the last words he said was he's not even the main champion of the company, but he is. But that's what being the AEW World Champion means. You're the main champion of the company. But yes, let's go back to the bling bling, to the
Alejandro.exe has stopped working.
I can't I can't not unhear bling bling and just like, so Alejandro has to be like 12. Has to be like 12, because you want to talk bling bling. How many chains did MVP used to come out with on around his neck? That motherfucker had just as many chains as Mr. T, and
he
would
mugged
take them off.
Mr. T.
Yeah, he was Mr. T. He was Mr. MVP T, if you will. Fucking, he had that many chains, and he would do his whole. MVP was hood, bro. Okay, he was hood, and
he's
if
a rapper.
you think Swerve is hood in the slightest bit, bro, you have got no idea about anything. But why the stereo? Like, you remember when John Cena used to be a rapper?
I was gonna say, who was a bling bling rapper world champion 20 years ago? John fucking Cena.
He turned everything into a spinner.
Oh God, yeah, he did.
Everything, bro. He had the chains.
I did like the US one though.
That one was hot. That was a great belt. But yeah, you can call it a different era. You can call it the whatever. But again, what really about Swerve says says rapper though? I mean, yes, he is a rapper. He is a rapper. He does do his own little thing or whatever. But because he's got a couple of gold teeth? Is that what it is? Because he's got some gold teeth? Because I don't.
And dreads in a fur coat.
But I gotta ask you this. Daz, because I'm really trying to grasp this. Does he say any derogatory terms? Is he a type of person that uses a whole different language that maybe you don't understand?
Nah, Swerve talks perfect English.
So, what in the fuck? Like, we have had so many examples of hood-like people, and it's not a negative thing. I'm not being negative when I say it. I'm just saying, you know, I'm trying to make a point, and I'm over here. I feel like I'm making myself feel hella negative, but it's not the point. But
Swerve is less hood than John Cena.
Bro, Swerve's a white guy.
I was gonna say he's whiter than John Cena. I've never heard Swerve come out and say yo yo yo. Nah, I mean, John Cena does.
John Cena knows better now, but yes, yes, John Cena would. But just stay off the internet. God,
Swerve's just a badass. That's all he is. But just bling bling rapper. You cannot be a world champion if you're a bling bling rapper. What the fuck are you talking about? You're not computing.
So I guess in his mind, every African American gentleman needs to be a Bobby Lashley. Needs to be fucking born and bred in the army, you know, fucking amateur wrestling background, jacked like holy shit. But the second you have a personality, you son of a bitch, you. What the fuck?
Or you got to be a comedy wrestler like Kofi Kingston. You got to throw pancakes at people and play with trumpets.
Or Big E, swing your wee-wee around. Like, come on, bro. What the
Needless to say, Alejandro deleted this tweet after everybody called him a racist.
Total racist. Are you kidding me? Absolute racist.
Again, dumbass. Oh, man, I've missed this segment.
What a great segment. I'm glad it came back.
It may not be as long next week, but trust me, there will be marks next week because they are marks. And oh, man, it's been too long since I said this. And that's the shit they say.
Oh, God. Keep it coming, you fucking idiots.
People get the wrong impression about Max Wrestling Podcast. We're a non-violent form of entertainment. We never use sex to enhance our image. As podcasters, we understand the importance of being positive role models. We're wholesome, family, entertainment.
You son of a bitch!
40-year-old fucking virgin.
Oh, you fucking did.
We're trying to make the world a better place for mankind.
Max Wrestling has a new attitude.
Get it?
Then it's probably not for you to get.
Welcome back to the Cap and Mo Show. This is your captain. He is El Jefe. Make sure you are liking and subscribed on YouTube. Follow us everywhere. And for all the information that you need, go to maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com.
It's just a click away. Get to it. Still to come, the lawyer, Chad Malcolm, goes one-on-one, mano-a-mano, with the mercenary, Chris Reed. But we hear from Beer after this segment was cut by Anos Mascaris last week. Because, it's time for redemption for my man, one half the tag champs. But first, let's do some recapping of last week's action. Let's go to the cap for all the Rebellion results. TNA Total Impact in. Count it down with me, boys. 3, 2, 1.
Impact in 3, 2,
1. Alright, let's get into last weekend's TNA Rebellion, which took place on Saturday, the day before Dynasty. But anyway, on the pre-show, ABC and Leon Slater defeated the Rascals. The Digital Media Championship changed hands as Laredo Kid defeated Crazy Steve, and the TNA Knockouts Championships remained with Jody Threat and Danny Luna as they defeated the K's, Rosemary and Havoc. Moving on to the main show, Mustafa Ali defended the X Division Championship against Jake Something and picked up the win with a dirty pin using the ropes. We got a tease for the Lights Out promos that have been airing as Lights Out Sean Merriman is shown at ringside. And he does get involved because he is the one that cost Joe Hendry the match against Rich Swann, allowing Swann to hit a 450 splash following a distraction from Merriman with a big clothesline on Joe Hendry. Moving on again to Full Metal Mayhem, a TNA staple, and if you don't know, that's TNA's version of TLC. Frankie Kazarian picked up the win on Eric Young after a flux capacitor just on the edge of the table. Following the match, of course, medical staff checked on Eric Young before we moved backstage as Gia Miller interviewed Nick Nemeth. We're moving on to TNA's newest acquisition, Mike Santana, picking up a win over Steve Macklin as he hit a huge block on Macklin. Sorry, spin the block. Moving on to the TNA World Tag Team Championships. The System once again survived as they defend the titles against Mike Bailey and Trent Seven. The victory came for the System as Eddie Edwards hit a Boston Knee Party on Trent Seven, following a clothesline from Brian Myers. The last man standing match between Josh Alexander and Alex Hammerstone. Too many Alexanders going on here. Josh Alexander and Hammerstone. This, of course, was the rubber match in the feud, but the final victory of the trilogy goes to Josh Alexander, as, of course, he hits a big C4 spike on the entrance ramp, and Hammerstone cannot make the 10 count. We see a little vignette for Jonathan Gresham, of course, making his return to TNA very soon, before, we get a little preview of the Knockouts title match as Ash by Elegance looks on. But of course, Jordan Grace does successfully defend the TNA Knockouts Championship against Steph DeLander with an unexpected assist from the returning Sami Callihan, as he prevents Khan from doing any damage, nailing him with a bat, and of course the good hands. And of course, Jordan Grace picked up the win with a Juggernaut driver. Finally, your main event, we kicked it off. It is Moose versus Nick Nemeth. Both men going right into it, but Moose picked up the win with a spear out of nowhere. to retain the championship. But after the match, as the system make their way down, the lights go out once again, and a very familiar laughter fills the air, and we're greeted to the return of Broken Matt Hardy as he drops Moose with a twist of fate. We get delete chance, he picks up the World Championship, and he points at the system to close the show. Broken Matt is back in TNA, but he has also said he is still a free agent. He has not signed a contract. He's free to go wherever he wants. But he's also said that he wants to add this World Championship to his resume because he's won the world title twice in TNA under 2 different gimmicks, but never as Broken Matt. So we'll see what happens there with that one. Now, Travis Anderson is unavailable this week, so you're going to stick it with me as we move on to WWE, and we are going into the Friday Night Zone to recap the Smack. That's right, so we're not recapping AEW because we already talked about Dynasty. But anyway, on to SmackDown. Let's recap the Smack. AJ Styles defeated LA Knight with a poke in the eyes and a phenomenal forearm to become the new #1 contender for Cody's WWE Championship and will challenge him at Backlash France. Triple H and Nick Aldis present A-Town Down Under with the new and improved WWE Tag Team Championships. Very, very familiar to the Attitude Era WWE Tag Team titles. They are beautiful. Easily the best looking, classic looking belts WWE have introduced in years. But A-Town Down Under show a little bit of disrespect to Triple H, much to the dismay of Nick Aldis, who gives him a very stern warning not to disrespect him again. Moving on for the #1 contenders match, the Street Profits defeated Legado del Fantasma, New Cat Republic, and the Authors of Pain to earn a shot with a revelation to Angel Garza. In the ring with Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa explains that last week he had to lose a brother to gain a new one, his MFT, Tama Tonga. Tama then appears as he throws Kevin Owens onto the stage and beats him all the way down to the ring. Finally, Nick Aldis steps in as Solo pulls Tama away from a bloodied Kevin Owens. Santos Escobar defeated Carlito with a Phantom Driver as Elektra Lopez and Zelina Vega came to blows at ringside. Kayla Braxton interviewed a defiant Damage Control in a skybox, claiming to still run SmackDown before Jade and Bianca Belair appeared in the next skybox and they begin arguing between the two boxes. And in the main event, Bayley's title defense against Naomi ends in a no contest as Tiffany Stratton hops the rail and lays them both out. Keeping it with WWE now and keeping it with me because I'm taking one for the team and going in Raw. So Raw kicks off with Jey Uso as he's immediately confronted by Damian Priest, who tells Jey to chill out, but Jey is bowed up and fires shots at Priest about being the leader of Judgment Day and calls him Dominic's bitch. JD McDonough tries to blindside Jey, but the attack is dodged and Jey dips out of the ring. Awesome Truth successfully defend the World Tag Team Championships against DIY with a complete shot skull-crushing finale combination. After the match, Johnny Gargano shakes Truth and Miz's hands, but Tommaso Ciampa, not Triple H, rolls out of the ring and refuses to shake anybody's hand. In the ring, Gunther appears for the first time since WrestleMania and sets his sights on King of the Ring. The New Day interrupts as Xavier Woods reminds Gunther and us that he is the reigning King of the Ring. The New Day then defeat Kaiser and Vinci, and as Gunther tosses his chair at the barricade and glares at Kaiser before walking away, Kaiser then helps Vinci up before viciously attacking him and telling Gunther backstage he told him he would get it done. Seems like all those losses have finally caught up to Giovanni Vinci. In the ring also, Drew McIntyre complains about CM Punk and losing his World Championship before Sheamus interrupts. McIntyre pokes fun at Sheamus' weight gain. Sheamus responds by calling Drew stupid as McIntyre takes a seat at the commentary table. Sheamus then defeats Shinsuke Nakamura with a Brogue Kick as McIntyre looks on. Also in the ring, Chad Gable says his attack on Sami Zayn last week was warranted after Zayn paraded the Intercontinental title in front of him after he lost last week. He also says he should have faced Gunther at WrestleMania and he wasted his time training a loser like Sami Zayn. Gable then turns to Alpha Academy, calling them a disappointment and that from now on their focus is him. Ricochet and Andrade defeated Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough as Andrade hits McDonough with the message. After the match, Damian Priest hops the rail and attacks Ricochet and Andrade before getting in Dominic's face and tells him he doesn't need any of them. And in the main event Battle Royal, Becky Lynch became the new Women's World Champion, eliminating Liv Morgan with a manhandle slam on the apron. The internet has cried because they cannot see the big picture. They want everything right fucking now, and they are fickle as fuck. But anyway, I'm getting thirsty, so it's time to move on for a round of beer with NXT.
Hey guys, this is Beard. This is your NXT review, Spring Breaking review. And firstly, I would like to apologize to all of you. Unfortunately, I did not do my NXT review last week after a certain asshole decided to get two of his clowns to try and beat the piss out of me and try to leave me for dead. Unfortunately, gentlemen, you didn't leave me dying. But we are back. We're back with Spring Breaking Night 1. NXT starts with Ava seen backstage with Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. And Ava even confirmed that NXT tonight may never be the same again. Obviously due to the draft that's taking place this Friday on SmackDown Live. NXT starts with the triple threat match with Roxanne Perez defending the Women's Championship against Tatum Paxley and Lyra Valkyria. What a fantastic triple threat match with these three young women. Roxanne escapes with the championship after Tatum Paxley hit the 450 splash on Lyra. It pushes Lyra out of the ring and Roxanne gets the 1, 2, 3. I'm very surprised. I thought Roxanne would have probably have dropped the belt. But I can see Roxanne dropping the belt just before she gets called up to the main roster. Let's face it, no-brainer. Roxanne will be on the main roster. I can see her being drafted to SmackDown, and I think she'll join Damage Control. Got a segment with a new tag team involving Tyson DuPont and Tariq Igwe, who will debut next week at Night 2 of Spring Breaking. We're not sure who their opponents are just yet, but we are looking forward to seeing this team, see how they get on. The family faced the No Quarter Catch Crew, and it looks like Drew Gulak is done with these recent allegations about him involving Ronda Rousey. It's the most bitter woman I've ever seen, but we'll have to see. I can't see Drew Gulak being in WWE for much longer. Family pick up the win with Tony D hitting a great spinebuster on the champion Charlie Dempsey. Tony D has pinned the Heritage Cup champion. Now, there is talk saying that Tony D and the family will be called up to the main roster. I'm not sure. I think Tony D will be great on Raw or SmackDown, but I'll have to see, because I think Tony D will be a big acquisition for me for Raw or SmackDown. We got Lexis King converting Baron Corbin after Braun Breaker's call up to SmackDown. The match is made official by Ava after Lexis King was insulting Baron Corbin. For me as well, Baron Corbin does win the match. Lexis King does win the match, I beg your pardon. And for me, Baron Corbin is going back to the main roster. I think he'll go to SmackDown and rejoin Braun Breaker and have the Wolf Dogs back in track. We got Jada Parker, who defeats Fallon Henley with a great hip check. Jada is a serious contender to win the NXT Women's North American Championship when it is available. I think there will be a tournament that will happen within the next couple of weeks. Don't bet against Jada winning it. For me, it's either Jada Parker or Kalani Jordan will win the North American Women's Championship. Jason Jane cuts a promo backstage calling Thea Hale an ungrateful little girl after what's happened with Thea and JC having a fantastic feud. Jasmine next looking amazing as always, but we're going to have the match next week between JC and Thea. None of these will be called up to the main roster. I think Thea's not ready yet, and I don't think JC's ready either. If she was still with Gigi and if Mandy Rose was still in WWE, there is no doubt they would have been called up by now. Many stars such as JD McDonough, also a few others will give their opinion on who will win the big main event tonight between Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov. It is a 50-50 split. Wow. Who knows what would have happened in this match? We got the contract signed between Natalya and Lola Vice for the NXT Underground bout, which is scheduled for next week. We got Carmen Petrovic, who will be in the corner of Natalya, but Lola had an ace up her sleeve, and she will confirm that Shayna Baszler will be in the corner of Lola Vice. Leads to a big brawl between these four women. I think for me this match should main event next week. Sol Ruka defeats Blair Davenport in a beach brawl match. Really solid match between these two. I think Blair's ready for the main roster now. It's a matter of when with Blair Davenport. Raw needs a killer heel. Obviously with Rhea Ripley now going up to the main roster. Rhea Ripley being out injured. For me, I think Blair is a possibility of being called. I think she's ready for me. Sol hits an amazing Sol snatcher from the top rope for the 1-2-3. Trick Williams is seen speaking to his mama before the match against Ilya Dragunov. We get a surprise appearance from Johnny Wrestling himself, Johnny Gargano, to give him some motivation to win the main event. Speaking of main event, it is our main event. Ilya Dragunov defending the championship against Trick Williams. If Trick loses, he must leave NXT forever. What a main event. It had everything to ask for. Near fall, tables being broken, moves taken from both men to others. For me, what a match. It's not as good as a match at Vengeance Day by some distance. Trick wins the match from sidekick to world champion. Trick is our new NXT champion. Great match. This is why Ilya Dragunov, for me, is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. He is amazing. Ilya is obviously going to get called up. Now, for me, I think Ilya should go to Raw. All I can say is roll it back to the two NXT UK matches against Gunther. Put on a 40-minute classic like they did. For me, Ilya's going to Raw. Carmelo Hayes, I think, will go to SmackDown. And I think there'll be two more call-ups. I think Roxanne Perez will go to SmackDown. And Blair Davenport, I think, should go to Raw. That's my opinion anyway. Let me know your opinions on the show that's coming up on Thursday. Now, what time is it? What we got? What time? You know the time. El Jefe, take it away, boss man.
All right, let's get into last night on Dynamite. First off, fucking fix your audio issues. They're AEW killing me. But then again, I think that's just Daly's place. I really think that they have a problem at Daly's place. They can't figure it out. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a different setup.
So as they return to Daly's place, the show starts out with the Elite arriving to the arena. It's the new Continental Champion, Okada. It is, or not new, he's whatever. The new Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. And then coming in all last second is the scapegoat himself, Jack Perry, as security. Almost stops him from coming in. They're like, no, you can't be here. He's allowed here. So we get Orange Cassidy's music because there's supposed to be a whole thing going down. That's when Trent just chucks him out onto the stage, beats the living balls out of him, calls out Chuck Taylor. Trent insists that they've been wasted by Orange. They ask Chuck to give the people what they want, give him a hug. Instead, Trent calls him a piece of shit and kicks his ass for a little bit, talks about wanting to fight him in the parking lot. So maybe next week we get a parking lot brawl one-on-one.
I think that
Sue's
was
going to
confirmed,
get involved. Sue's going to get involved. Watch this. You're going to beat somebody with a walker, hit somebody with a van. It's going to be awesome. Backstage, Jon Moxley knows he's for a fight as he addresses his challenger, Powerhouse Hobbs, pretty much kind of having to downplay a little bit of the stuff coming from New Japan. But then again, that's called build. So the new world champion, Swerve Strickland, did not get a lovely celebration. Instead, he got a match against Kyle Fletcher, and it was a good one. And he picked up the dub after a stunning house call kick to pick up the dub. Backstage, Renee interviews Thunder Rosa about her loss to Toni Storm. That's when Deonna Purrazzo interrupts, gets in her face, and a couple of nerds look like they're going to walk it off on the street between them. But I guess we're going to get this at All In at some point. Probably at All In. I'm a little excited about it. Thunder Rosa had a really fucking good match against Toni Storm on Dynamite, or on Dynasty. See, don't have names so goddamn close to each other. You're going to confuse me. So Mia Shirakawa. That's how I got to keep it. It does sound Chinese. I'm not gonna lie, even though it is Japanese. I'm not gonna lie, people. I can't lie to you. So Mia Shirakawa defeats Anna Jay, but Anna Jay attacks Maria May after the match, bringing out Toni Storm to make the save. That's when Serena Deeb shows up on the stage, sending her sights on the AEW Women's Championship, which I already like this one. This is going to be a super good challenge in it. Again, Toni Storm was a little less Hollywood and a little more old school Toni Storm. So you add that to this one, and it's all good stuff. So in the ring, Stokely Hathaway and Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander bring out Willow Nightingale to celebrate the TBS title win. But long thereafter, they are interrupted by Mercedes Moné, who then obviously things get tense quickly because, she quote unquote injured her during her New Japan run. And that's why she was out for a year. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, time to settle the score. So at Double or Nothing, it's Mercedes Moné, the $6 million player, going for the TBS title, which still just doesn't sit right with me, but to each their own. Backstage, Alex Marvez is fucking dying for the scoop like the son of a bitch is going to get fired if he doesn't find out what's going on. I was dying at Alex for this one. But he's trying to find out what the Elite or what they're doing and if they're going to be able to get Jack Perry reinstated. We get a very good, I'm not going to say awesome, but a very good gauntlet match where Will Ospreay wins it, and he's got a shot at the international title. After the match, he is confronted by the Kingdom. I wonder if they're going to crown him already or if he's already going to be in line for his first loss. The Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, celebrates his FTW title win, even though technically it's a belt that's barely recognized. He is then interrupted by Big Bill, who pledges to follow Chris Jericho. Now he's going to get another flock of goons, because Chris Jericho builds stables, which I guess is okay, as long as it comes with a cool name.
Yeah.
Backstage with Renee, Don Callis questions Will Ospreay not using the Tiger Driver and disrespects Kyle Fletcher, which I don't. I mean, Don Callis is an asshole, so of course he's going to poke fucking Will Ospreay for not using the Tiger Driver. But after, he quote-unquote hurt Bryan Danielson, he's retired the move. I wonder how long that'll actually last. In the main event, with Callis on commentary, Moxley chokes out Will Hobbs to retain the IWGP World Title. After the match, Konosuke Takeshita comes onto the stage and makes it clear that he wants a challenge at Mox's title, and this is one I'd love to see. I would love to see Takeshita in fucking New Japan. Please, please, please. Backstage with Renee doing all the work tonight. Katsuyori Shibata's phone announces that he's challenging Jericho for the FTW title next week. This translator is awesome. I fucking love this. It makes me giggle because it's like he can speak English, but it's like, nope, just keep doing this. It's the best.
The translator can also get away with flirting with Renee.
That's true.
Those rhinestones make a heart.
I was just going to say, my boy man's got a death wish as he's over here hitting on Jon Moxley's wife. But hey, to each their own, bro. People like the forbidden fruit. So, in the ring for the final segment, Ski-Bone brings out Jack Perry. Perry then calls out Tony Khan to handle some business. Perry asks to shake his hand and be reinstated. Khan does, as Perry is smiling at the camera before then attacking Tony Khan. The Elite run down to appear to talk Jack down like, hey, dude, what the fuck are you doing? They tease an EVP trigger on Tony before hitting a TK driver because it's way safer. Referees run down, not fucking wrestlers. Referees run down as the Elite stand all over the place. After they leave, the locker room empties to check on TK, and along with the daddy of them all, Shad Khan, looking extra mean, looking extra evil, and being just utterly terrifying. Utterly terrifying.
Ugh.
So, I mean, it wasn't like the greatest Dynamite ever. It was an okay, what was it? I guess recap. I wouldn't say recap show, but fallout from Dynasty. I just don't understand why everybody got a talking segment that won a belt, except for the Bucks even got talking segments. Why did Swerve out there working his ass off? Damn it.
Yeah, I think Chad asked that in the group, and I was just like, he just wanted to wrestle.
Probably. It's probably that's, better. He's better for that. I'm just saying for me, it feels like, hey, we need you to work. Go out there and work. You know what I mean?
I always enjoy the comebacks to Daily's Place. I don't know if it's just that they only go there like once or twice a year, or the setup. I really love the setup. It's just unique. But
it's very unique.
It's always a good show in Daily's Place.
For sure, it gives that like the MGM, not the MGM, but the Madison Square Garden vibe. You know what I mean? The whole it's an interesting setup and da. So no, I like it too, but we'll see where we go. I'm very curious if like Shad Khan's gonna open the show next week.
Oh,
if you guys touching my son, I can't. I'm sorry. That was bad. That was terrible of me. Anyway, so
that's it. We're getting canceled.
We're canceled already. Now, last week we did not get an NXT recap from Beer, thanks to that dastardly masked bastard Anos Mascaras. We did get a recap this week, however, but we also get to hear from Beer about what happened last week.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. I try to be a nice guy.
Right, so here how it goes down. Last week, I sadly was not on the show, unfortunately, due to an incident that happened here a couple of weeks ago. I did not appear on the show to do my usual NXT review. You saw, unfortunately, that a certain douchebag under the name of Anon Mascaras decided to intervene himself to something that I do on the show on a week-to-week basis. Now, Anon Mascaras, you challenged me to a match at Full House. Yeah, cool. I accept. And you know what's going to happen is that I'm going to whoop your ass so bad you will never ever want to be on Max ever again. And you can bring your two little clowns with you. You can bring whoever you want. You can bring anybody you wish, because the result is going to stay the same, is that I am going to whoop the hell out of you. You wanted my attention? Isn't it, boy? You got my attention. At Full House, it is over.
Well, it seems Beer is ready for Full House, but is he ready for the chaos that follows Anon Mascaras everywhere he goes? They finally go one-on-one in a month's time at Full House.
I hope he's ready for war, man, because it looks like it's going to get crazy. Speaking of chaos, following Mascaras, he is responsible for putting one together, forcing the Dragon Club members to face each other as Chad Malcolm defends his television title against Travis, the Coach Anderson.
Bastard. And the Knowledge Championship is also on the line in full trivia mayhem as the Phoenix defends his record-breaking 6th reign against the mercenary, Chris Reed, as they square off for the very first time. And I believe this is Chris Reed's very first trivia battle.
Go right for the big dog. I love it. Like the confidence and see how far you go. Full House comes your way May 23rd, along with AEW Double or Nothing predictions.
Yes. Go to maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com/Full House for more information.
More information.
All right. We still have another announcement to come, but let's get to this week's. Well, it's rare for a regular episode to have a promo battle, but we got one this week. It is part of Chris Reed's Revenge Tour. Also, I guess you could consider it a preview of King of the Mic. It is under TV rules, which means longest promo wins unless you are 3 minutes more than your opponent. But of course, that's hard to predict because you don't know what your opponent's going to do. So let's find out who, if Chris can chalk up another victory on his road to redemption. It is the Lawyer versus Chris Reed.
That's right. Dragon Club. Dragon Club TV Championship. I think work well together. Now, Chris, you're coming out and you're challenging me to a promo match. Now, luckily for you, this isn't a championship match. This is just an exhibition. Which, yeah, like I said, it's good for you, that. Definitely better. But I am going to take this opportunity to talk a bit about the championship and what it means to Max Wrestling. Because I am the current champion, as we all know. And this championship is going to stay in the Dragon Club for a very, 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 very long time. Now, a lot of people want a bit of the lawyer, including yourself, Chris. That's why you've challenged me. But only certain people are worthy of holding the championship that I now possess. So, that being said, in 2 weeks' time, on Max Wrestling, I will announce the next challenger for my championship. Now, I already know who it is, but I'm not going to tell you. The clue is in this video. The clue is in this promo. The clue was said at the start of the promo. So, I'll let you figure that out. Anyway, back to you, Chris. I hear you were doing a 1 year celebration, going through everybody. I saw you do a shot, quite a big shot to be fair. Phoenix is next, I believe. Now, first of all, good luck, because Phoenix is top tier talent. But do you think you could beat him? Really? And what do you get if you win? Because it's all good, like, you know, challenging everybody. But if you don't win, then what do you get? So, I hear that after me, it's Phoenix. I think you should put something on the line. Don't know what. Maybe we could get some sort of contract. You want the championship off him. But what if you lose? What if we say, not your career, because that's a bit harsh. What about like a suspension? What about if you lose? You can't cut any promos on Max for, let's say, 3 months? Get a bit of peace? Yeah? Speaking of talking, a bit of peace, Beer put in the Facebook group, I will be talking tomorrow, as in today. That's not an announcement, pal. The announcement is meant to be that you don't talk. Because all you do is talk. But, Via, we'll come to you another time. Sort of rambling on a little bit now, I know. But basically, what I want to get from this promo is, I am the champion. The championship will be in Dragon Club for a very, very, very long time. I will announce the next challenger in 2 weeks' time. And I want to write up a contract for Chris's match against Phoenix, where if Chris loses, he can't cut a promo for 3 months. What do you say? Hit the lawyer up, boy.
About time you accepted my challenge, Chad. But let's not start off that way. Let me introduce you to myself. I am the mercenary, Chris Reed. Now, you don't need to introduce yourself to me, because I know who you are. Because I've heard all the things that you did here in Max Wrestling. Just like the likes of Corey Cypher, Dazzy Lee, the Captain, Travis Anderson, Moses Marquez, Ted P. De Niro, and everyone else here in Max Wrestling long before I came here. you are a former world champion. And just like before, here you are once again, TV champion.
Though I have to admit, the fact that you found a way to find a loophole into winning the TV title for Moses Marquez back at PromoMania, but yet you could not find a loophole
to make sure that Travis retains the TV title back at Leap of Faith when Moses cashed in his Iron Bank. And I know it's going to sound a little bit cliche when I use a saying that from a video game. That's a little bit sus. That's sus of you to do that. It really is. But you see, but that again, that's what you do. That's what you do, Chad. You always find a way. You always find a loophole into winning. That's what you do. That's the reason why you're called the lawyer. But you see, Chad, I know you're more than that. I saw you're more than just winning battles by using words. You're more than just a promo shooter. I seen what you went through when you went up against Daz, when you were defending the World Championship against Daz back at PromoMania. I've seen what you did. I've seen what you've done. I know for a fact that you can go into a physical war.
And that's why I picked you, Chad. Because I wanted you to bring the best out in me. Corey Cypher done it. Travis Anderson done it. The captain done it.
Every single person, including the likes of Beer, have brought the best out in me. Even Mike Larkin, who's still to me the Ryback of Max Wrestling. Which, by the way, Larkin, I'll give you credit, Larkin. You had the balls to call me out and face me at PromoMania. But what disappoints me the most is that you didn't have the balls to face me in a TV rules bout. Why? The answer is simple, Larkin, because you were scared of losing to me. That's the only reason why you didn't want to face me in a TV rules bout at PromoMania, because you knew that you was going to lose to me. So as far as I'm concerned, Larkin, you will always be the Ryback of Max Wrestling to me. And if that's the best that I can get out of you when it comes to your Mike Larkin experience, then the best thing you can do is just shut up and just go away for good and never come back. Now, back to you, Chad. You see, Chad, here, this right here is a TV rules bout. You know what the rules are in a TV rules bout, which means you can't find a loophole in this. There will be no loophole in this, Chad. It's just me, you, and the camera and the clock. That's it. You ain't gonna find no loophole in this, Chad. You ain't. So, what am I talking about? You're gonna find a way to find it. You're gonna find a way to. I know you. You're gonna come up with some kind of bullshit excuse on how you won this one. It wouldn't surprise me. So if you want to make this legit, try to actually beat me without finding any loopholes in this TV rules bout. And if you think I'm going to find a loophole in this, I want you to think about this long and hard on why would I? Why would I find a loophole in this? Do you forgot? Did you already forget who I am? I'm the guy who challenged Corey in my Max Wrestling debut almost a year ago, back at King of the Mic. I defeated him. I defeated a world champion, a former world champion in my Max Wrestling debut at King of the Mic almost a year ago. And now here I am. This year, I'm in the semifinals this July at Money Shot. In the semifinals of this year's King of the Mic tournament. And you want to know how I found myself in that spot? Because I challenged the captain not once, not twice, but 3 times. I challenged him 3 times in a TV rule spot. And the old saying goes, the third time's the charm. And it was. Third time was the charm for me. And look what happened. I can say that I finally defeated the captain in my third and final encounter against him. And because of that victory, I have gotten myself a pass straight into the semifinals of this year's King of the Mic. And just like I told Larkin back at Promo Mania, this is going to be my year. This is going to be the year of the mercenary. So, at Money Shot, I am going to win the semifinals. I'm going to advance straight into the finals, and I am going to win the King of the Mic tournament, and I will be crowned as the first ever dual champion. And I am going to defend that championship like my life depends on it. I will make that dual championship very, very important. The same way, just like the TV title is important. The same way like the World Championship is important. Every single championship here in Max Wrestling is important to me, Chad. And I'm not going to let you get in my way to make sure of it. So, Chad Malcolm, hear me and hear me now. Just like Daz, just like Corey, just like even that scumbag Moses Marquez, I see everybody as a threat. So hear me and hear me now, Chad. Unless you want me to be on your side for the right price, of course, I highly recommend you don't get I highly recommend that you don't get in my way. And like I said, and I said this to Das, either I win this or I lose. I'm moving on to my next opponent, which is going to be your fellow Dragon Club member, Craig Phoenix, for the Knowledge Championship in full trivia mayhem. And Phoenix, I know you're watching. I know you have. I know that you know that I'm coming after you for that title. I'm not going to stop till I get my hands on it. So, Phoenix, I will see you at Full House in full trivia mayhem. And Chad Malcolm, I hope you give me the best of you. I want the best of you. I want the guy who went up against Das at Promo Mania defending that world title. I want the guy who went up against Moses Marquez at Promo Mania 2 years in a row. I want to see if you can conquer the mercenary. Otherwise, you are going to be conquered by me.
Like I said, if you go more than 3 minutes in your opponent, you don't get the victory. And Chris was just a little bit over Chad by just over a minute or so, a couple of minutes there. So, by default, Chad Malcolm is, of course, your winner. It's a good thing this is not like AEW, because you could almost consider that a title eliminator. So if Chris would have won, he probably would have been in line for a TV title shot. But anyway, Chad is victorious by a technicality, even though Chris was a longer promo. It was too long, and that's how TV rules works.
Now they're Liverpool. I got you.
But nonetheless, Chris, like we said, does have a title match anyway. He's going for the knowledge title at Full House. But it is always nice to see promo action, even if it's just an exhibition. Now then, latest point. We've already gone through shit Mark say, but let's put some bad points on the board with the Twatometer.
I get points too.
Expect even less from a bunch of neckbeard stinky twats.
So I mean, right off the bat, I mean, we got to go right for all the shit, all the marks this week. So unfortunately, I'm not going to individually give them one. I clout them all as one people's, and that being the IWC. And the IWC, as we know, has gotten points on the twat meter a bunch already. So we're going to add. We had how many this week? 6.
There was about 6 quotes. Yeah.
All right, we had 6, so 3. Let's go with a weird number. 18 points. 3 points for each of your victories in your own mind.
All right, let me see what the IWC is on currently. When it loads up quicker. All right, IWC is on 5, so that's pretty low for them. But I mean, there is also live attendance fans, so we'll rump them in with that. IWC's on 5 plus the 18, so there you go.
There you go, 23 for the IWC. Y'all get it. Stop it. Stop being people
that are now
negative.
Just in between Ronda Rousey and Ryback.
Hey, no more negative Nancys and Nelsons.
We got anybody else this week? I definitely
sure.
know of one who deserves some twat points.
Please.
This I'm gonna go Obi-Wan. This is a name I haven't heard for a long time. Lars Sullivan.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Creepy little fucker.
So I didn't get to read the whole thing.
Yeah, so basically, I can't remember how she knew him or whatever, but somebody called him, and he was just yelling abuse down the phone, talking shit. And because she was laughing, he was just getting worse. And then she realized, oh shit, that's Lars Sullivan. He's an ex-wrestler. So yeah, he hasn't changed. He's still a really horrible human being.
Apparently, bud. I don't understand how that. Like, I thought I was hoping it was a gimmick. You know, the fact that he's this crazy monster fucker, I thought it was a gimmick. Guess not.
No, he ain't right.
No, he's
the best way I can say it.
Yeah, it is the best way you can say it. He is not right.
I'm gonna try and see if I can find the whole story. So yeah, April 23rd, 2024. So yeah, he was released in 2021. The lady that shared the story owns a spa, and she blocked him on Instagram. And he recently called the spa and left a voicemail filled with profanities and threats.
What the fuck?
So
what the fuck?
She didn't block his phone number, so when he called back, she laughed at him, which enraged him further, leading to more insults and slurs. And he was particularly offended because she supported a ceasefire. She then realized it is a, quote, washed-up pro wrestler.
Ha! Perfect. Way to get your points in there. Fuck it. I'm down to give him fucking 20 for just being a fucking terrible human being.
Creepy fucker.
Well, how do you fucking call a spa? And then, like, I'm sure he was fucking probably trying to harass the shit out of the broad for a little bit from the sounds of it. Because how are you going to get blocked on Instagram first?
Before the phone number, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you know you're being a creepy fuck.
I think he'd have a great conversation with Ryback. Those two would be good friends.
Fucking friends. Lord Jesus.
All right, let's keep it there then. So 20 points goes to Lars Sullivan, a.k.a. Dylan Miley. You creepy fucker.
That sounds so much worse. That sounds exactly like somebody that would call a spa and threaten people.
Yeah. Just a weird guy. Okay, let's go to the good side of stuff with the Yeet-O-meter.
Yeet.
Yeet. You feel me? For real. Do you feel him, sir?
Do.
Got a little too excited on the Yeets.
I know.
So let me look at the Yeet-O-meter is much longer than the Twatometer, which tells me we have some repeat offenders on the Twatometer. But is there somebody I know I want to give more points to? Well, I mean, first of all, 10 points to Swerve.
Easy
10 points to Swerve. Yes, it was predictable, but it was deserved, warranted, and a breath of fresh air.
Yep.
And also, actually, 10 points to Joe for being a hell of a champion and carrying that brand for what was it, 3-4 months?
Yeah, being solid in that time span.
Yeah. Joe is a locker room leader.
Factual statement.
Fuck it, I gotta do it. I gotta do it because he's recovered from what we thought was career suicide. 10 points to Jack Perry.
10 points to Jack Perry.
The scapegoat has survived and resurrected himself.
I was just gonna say he's alive and walking, this kid. He's alive and walking. And at this rate, he's gonna start running soon.
Yeah. And one final one for the road. Just because of the assholes in the IWC, I'm also going to give 10 points to JoJo.
Oh, hey. If I could
listen
buy
to
you a
these
drink,
fuckers.
my dear, I would.
You have yourself a drink. Just put your fucking seatbelt on, please.
Put your seatbelt on and don't post it on Instagram.
That's the only. Yeah, don't post it on fucking social media if you're hanging out of a moving car window. That's all I'm going to say. But you have a good time, girl.
Exactly.
Jeez. Wow, thank you for joining us. I hope we rocked you harder than half of the fucking internet this week. Jesus.
Seriously.
Before we close this up, let's find out. First of all, actually, before we go to click this, let's find out what that big announcement was earlier on, hopefully. Let's go back to El Jefe.
You know, when you go from being like the king of outlaws to being the last one standing, it kind of makes you want to go all the way back to what the mission was all about from the jump. And that's to have it all. And you know, I had it all at one time. Boy, ever did I have it all. I had TV title, Iron Bank, World Championship, bouncing around in the TV, in the tag league, winning that belt. Now I am a singular outlaw. I'm like Billy the Kid, except I'm all grown up. And I've been growing up for a long time. And as you grow up, you know you have to make grown-up decisions. And so I've been out here saying I'm the only outlaw left. The MDO has absolutely crumbled. In reality, there's two members. There's me, and then there's the other guy. I don't think I've actually said congratulations to him. Congrats, Teddy. Congrats on doing the thing that you needed to do. You won the big one. And now you see the funniest part about all that? We're not celebrating together. There is no celebration of the MDOs, Ted P. De Niro winning the big one. Because just like everyone else, Eddie, he walked away. He left the outlaw to his old tricks, and you bid him a fair due. And you know, I've been learning the hard way about a lot of things in life, especially football. We'll talk about that later. That any moment, especially here at Max, anything can happen. Hell, I got Liverpooled out of the TV title, for fuck's sake. Luckily enough, I have a great tag partner, so we are still tag team champions. And as much as I love that, I absolutely miss being the face of this whole place, being Max World Champion. So, to kind of cut to the point, you guys cut the line too. Technically, I've been losing, but hey, I'm a name and a face and an attraction, so why not use me? Kind of like how everybody in the MDO used me. There was a plan. But you guys, no. The egos came. Like yours, Teddy. Like yours. So, let's make it short and sweet, Teddy. Besides me telling you have something I want, which we know what that's about. It's time to prove your worth. Are you the better outlaw than me? I don't think you are. We'll have to find out. And find out we will. Because guess who's next in line? That EVP fella that you saw at the beginning, he's got a lot of pull around here. So he pulled a few strings. And so, Teddy, you get to be the final chapter in the book of the MDO. Does the outlaw live on? Or does he crumble to the glitch in the system? There's only one way to find out. And you know what, Teddy? I'm going to grant you the same courtesy I granted Chad. You can pick your stipulation. Whatever match you want to do for your world championship, sign me up, set the date, kiss it goodbye, and either come back home or maybe you take the last trip on the train station. Oh, and Mr. Glitch in the system, I just sound like a smarty pants. I have a degree in cybersecurity.
Well, you know what? I was just thinking we don't have a match for Teddy at Full House, but now we do. Allow me to make it official. World title is set. The final chapter of the MDO is set. El Jefe versus Teddy P for the world title at Full House. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And again, like I said, like I did with Chad, it's Teddy's pick. You pick the stipulation. You pick how you want to lose the Max Wrestling World Championship back to the man, to the lone outlaw.
You better hope he doesn't pick a rap battle.
Oh, fuck. You know what? If he does, I might be game. I can't rap to save my life. But fuck it. Let's go.
Hey, Big Show did it. So did Kurt Angle.
I better be better than the Big Show.
Well, I mean, Kurt Angle was the whitest rapper of all time.
But that shit still goes.
I won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
It still goes. I don't care.
This slaps. So, now that that's official, let's close this up and find out what host Mo and the TSK have for you Pencil Neck Geeks this week with a roundup of Click This.
Oh my goodness. So at this point I'm calling it the long lost WrestleMania review. And that's what it's going to be dubbed. I'm actually going to make a whole new fucking thumbnail, even though I have a good one. I'm going to make a whole new one. But that one's actually ready to go and ready to drop. I'm going to try to have it drop Friday, just to be a stooge. However, the boys did review Dynasty. That thing is done and looking superb. That should drop later today. So double dipping Thursdays is what I like to do. It just be later in the day. That's all. Just be later in the day. But yeah, no. The boys and I did that one. Talked about it in depth. I hope you all like the new background. I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but enjoy it while y'all can.
Ooh, other than that, background too.
Hey, I know I'm loving this stuff. The footy boys, the footy group. Let's call it the footy group. I don't want to throw Nicola and the boys like that. The footy group, if she's able to make it. There's a lot that went down. I mean, Liverpool lost to a team they shouldn't have lost to. Man City lost again. Man U, I should say, lost to Sheffield United, which a lot of people are still scratching their head. I know Beer probably has an extra couple holes in his wall. And Spurs have to figure out how to play upset without their starting left back and possibly Pedro Porro, their right back. So, and we have to play Arsenal, who literally just came off of a 6-0 victory against, I want to say, Chelsea. Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff we got to talk about. So we're hoping to try to drop an episode Friday before the weekend. And if we don't, then we definitely will be back for the weekend review and then try to pick up another episode here or there. It's very stagnant right now. We're hoping by next season we have a better schedule so we can come out with weekly episodes. But that's all the fun stuff going down. So be prepared for the double dip at Thursdays. I love saying it like that with the TSK. Drop it later. But you got to make sure you're on all the socials. This is how you get all your information. Find us on the Evil Twitter machine, Evil X machine if you want to get fancy. Max Wrestling UK, Captain 512, SMR Podnet, and at Max Football Pod for all you footy fans out there. Check out the Max Wrestling website, maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on all the other socials, though. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we right back on the TikTok. Go interact with us so we can interact with y'all and have some fun getting back on it.
Let's get to it. And yes, Beer's wall looks like Swiss cheese.
Yes, it do.
That's the burden of being a Man United fan.
As I'm learning.
This is why I kind of stopped watching football. But anyway, I've always been a wrestling guy. So that's it for this week. Join us next week for the return of Cypher. For the first time since Promomania, the former world champion will be here. Plus, Backlash predictions. That's coming around pretty fast. Backlash takes place on Star Wars Day.
Yes.
You've been watching the Cap and Mo. Goodbye. And good night. Bye.
Daddy. That's the wrong outlaw.
Wow.
Love it.